Let's take a look now at obituaries brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Visitation for Mr. Paul Randall Edwards Sr., age 69, of Harpersville, is today from 1 until 2 o'clock at Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, followed by a funeral service at 2. Curtis & Son Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements. Funeral arrangements to be announced for Mr. Homer Smith. Mr. Smith died on Friday night. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, in charge of those funeral arrangements as well. Mr. Smith died Friday at Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. In other obituary news this morning, for this Monday morning, Mr. Earl Hunt died on Saturday at Grandview Medical Center in Birmingham. Curtis & Son Funeral Home will announce the funeral arrangements. In other obituary news this morning, Lillian Green Prater, age 87, of Weguffka, died Friday. Graveside service is Tuesday at 2 o'clock from Weguffka Second Baptist Church Cemetery, with Brother Danny Bynum officiating. Visitation prior to the service at 1 p.m. In lieu of flowers, contributions in Lillian's memory may be made to the Weguffka Women's Ministries at Second Baptist Church, Radley Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. John Russell Edgreen, age 70, died on Friday, October the 8th. A memorial service will be held for John today at Radley Smith Funeral Home at 11 a.m. Visitation 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. prior to the service. In lieu of flowers, you may consider a donation to Carpenters for Christ Ramp Builders in care of First Baptist Church in Sylacauga. Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga in charge of the arrangements. And I knew John for a number of years, his days at Bluebell, and a very well thought of man, and he retired from Bluebell and is a member of the attended First Baptist Church in Sylacauga. Radley Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral arrangements to be announced for Phyllis M. Beck, age 64. Those arrangements to be announced by S.M. Goodson Funeral Home and Crematory in Talladega. Ms. Beck died October 14th. And Carolyn Truss, age 58, died October 14th. S.M. Goodson Funeral Home and Crematory in Talladega in charge of the arrangements. This obituary report this morning brought to you courtesy of Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.